This podcast is brought to you by ONNIT. Go to ONNIT.com and look at the great selection of supplements. If you find something you like, press in code Joey and get 10% off delivered right to your house. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Happy Labor Day. It's Monday, September 5th. The joint is brought to you by DraftKings. Oh shit, Thursday night is it. Kick off to another motherfucking NFL season. And to celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you new customers a tremendous fucking offer. Are you ready for this? Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get 200 and big ones and free bets instantly. But wait, there's more. DraftKings wants everybody to experience the thrill of early win promotion. So it's simple. Bet on any team to win. If you guys lead by 10 points at any time during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. This is completely fucking insane, but you're the crazy one if you don't get in on the action. This fucking Sunday or this Thursday, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code Joey to get 200 in free bets instantly when you place $5 on any football team this motherfucking Sunday. That's code Joey only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and let's get ready to get laid, paid, and fucking laid, cocksuckers. The joint is also brought to you by CBD Lion. Listen, my cat wasn't doing well. I started giving her a CBD tincture, and she's fucking in there jumping up and down. CBD Lion has helped me in more ways than one, from my anxiety to my fucking knees to now my cat's fucking life and well-being. I take the tincture every day, and I'm tip-top magoo, but don't take it from me. Go to CBD Lion right now, download the third-party lab results, and put your first order in. I'm going to get you 20% off on your first motherfucking order at CBD Lion. Pressing code JOINT, Joey, or Church, 20% off on your first order of any CBD line. It's the best CBD out there. Let's get this party started. It's Monday the fucking 5th, cocksuckers. Time for some cheeseburgers.
Hey, how you doing? Come on in. Yeah, Joey's in the back.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's up, you bad bitches? It's Monday. Happy Labor Day to all you cocksuckers. The summer's officially over. I don't know, you can't dress in white, you can't go to Long Island no more. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it doesn't matter. I love the fucking summer, Like I've been telling you guys, this is the best summer I've had in a long time. But I fucking love the fall. Especially, listen, there's 2 months of the year on the East Coast that are just tremendous, and that's fucking May. Before the humidity shows up, you don't know what it's like to walk around the city eating a slice of pizza with 2 fucking bong hits in you. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? You can stop on a corner for one of those terrorist hot dog, the fucking Sab bread with the tremendous. But September is a fucking gorgeous month in New York. I don't know if you look at my old schedules, I always came to New York in September because something about the trees, the fucking air, the weather, it's 70 degrees. Today's a fucking beautiful day to be alive. And it's been beautiful the last 10 days. I couldn't believe we had softball practice last week already. So the year's popping. The reason why I like this time of the year is because it's get down. This is it. This whatever. We fucked around the rest of the year. We jumped up and down for 8 months. We fucking, told stories. But once September comes, you got to look at what's going on for 2023 and go, well, for me to have a successful 2023, I got to kick this motherfucker. I love this time of the year because it sets up 2023. Think about it. Whatever you do now, you're doing for 2023 pretty much. If you're fucking painting a house, whatever, you're setting up, if you're a fucking painter, you're setting up, you're taking fucking bids and you're trying to pack in all your indoor work for the winter. You know, this is what people do this time of the year. For me, I'm excited. I'm 12 days away from the residency at the Sony Theater. Tickets are sold out. Do not pay over $40 fucking dollars or I'll stab you in the goddamn neck. And that's it, guys. I mean, this is it. You know, usually I'll take this week off, whatever, for Labor Day. You guys ain't watching shit. But guess what? Fuck that. I'm so excited about the last quarter. We're kicking this motherfucker today. Goals, fucking the setting. Football season's upon us. You know, that's the other thing. Once you start smelling this time of the year, you're like, okay, a lot of things are fucking happening. College football last week, now fucking pro football, you know, in a couple more weeks we're going into baseball playoffs. It's just a fucking great time of the year, you know what I'm saying? October's going to be fucking, I love it. You know, listen, I can sit here and tell you I'm a fan of this guy, I'm waiting on this. Listen, ever since I moved to Jersey, I started doing something on Sundays. And I got to tell you something. I look forward to it all week. I go to Jimmy Florentine's house with his little childhood buddies from the Old Bridge. There's no muss. There's no fuss. They bring over a couple pizza pies. They bring over some beers. And it's just fucking guys watching football. They're not talking about golf. They're not talking about, you know, how they raise their kids. Trust me, that's the farthest thing they talk about. They talk about, they say some fucking tremendous shit. Not a lot of people couldn't sit in that basement today. I'm telling you right now. If you sat in that basement, you at one point you're gonna go, "What the fuck did he say?" or "What did Joey say?" Because I get in there too. Who gives a fuck? But it's just guys that I never even knew. I had been in L.A. with so many phony people for so fucking long that I forgot what these guys were like. These just guys that are blue collar guys. They work all fucking week. They don't give a fuck about your Instagram. They don't give a fuck about how many friends you have on Twitter. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They just want to get their beers, get away from their wives, and watch 3 fucking football games on a Sunday. And I don't fucking blame them. They work fucking hard. But I had never experienced that since I left here. Like maybe in Colorado, working for the sports betting people on Monday nights, we used to get together and watch football and get beers and fuck. And listen, guys, I don't drink. I go for the wings. I eat a couple fucking wings, a slice of pizza. But just to be out with a bunch of guys and shit like that, it's always great. I don't even like, I can't go to a bar. I can't sit in a bar. I don't drink. So I'm like the odd man fucking, what do you want to do? Sit there and drink Coke with a lemon in it? How much of a fucking hypocrite am I? So I just don't go to fucking bars. But if you invite me to your house, I can bring a little tuts. I can eat my edibles. I can get a slice of pizza. Usually I show up at Carlo's and get myself an extra cheese with fucking meatball, extra crispy, and I bring it over there. The fucking pie weighs 30 goddamn pounds. So I'm looking forward to that shit. And like I told you motherfuckers last week, listen, guys, I know a lot of you guys were other draft sites or whatever having a great time. Listen, man, DraftKings, I've been with them for, 3 years now? 2 years, 2.5 years, a little before the pandemic. Like, I had tried other sites out, but DraftKings just grabbed me. The thing about DraftKings that felt good was I felt I could trust them. Like, I wasn't going to wake up in the morning and my money was going to be gone. Whether it's $200 or $800, you don't want to get fucking beat. So I always trusted them for that, you know. Like, I've had a couple of friends that I was in Florida and I signed up for a local sports thing and it takes them a month to pay me back. All that shit doesn't fly with me either, guys. I'm the type of motherfucker, I put a bet in, I either pay you or I skip town. You know what I'm saying? And with DraftKings, you can't skip fucking town. You know, so I don't know who you were with or whatever, but do yourself a favor. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook, download, put my name in, and guys, just put Joey, not the whole fucking name, not cocksucker. It's not going to react to that. They're just going to call the cops on your ass. But if it's, if you're into football just to have fun, listen, I'm not here. I'm reading these articles lately about sports gambling, how people getting hooked on shit. First off, when I was a kid, you could really get hooked because you just had a guy on the phone. He doesn't know what's in my wallet. Mike doesn't know what I have in my wallet. Mike doesn't know what I have. Well, there's no ATM cards back then. He doesn't know what I have in my bank account. So I could just call Mike and go, it's this easy. Today I like, I don't know, fucking Buffalo Bills on Thursday night. Mike will go, what do you want to bet him for? Now, if I make $300 a fucking week, you know, I'm betting this for $25 for entertainment, so I can watch the game and yell a little bit, throw a shoe at the cat, whatever the fuck is going on. But sometimes you go, you know what, man? I'm good at this. I'm going to make some fucking money at this. Like I did when I was 18. I'm good at this. I could pick these winners, and all of a sudden you bet over your head. So I could just tell Mike, hey, I got $500 in the game. That game loses. I got to work fucking 3 weeks and overtime to pay that fucking $500. That's not going to happen. So what do? I bet another $500 on it, and it loses again. Now I'm down to small $1,200. Now comes Monday Night Football, and I got to bet the farm. I lose, I'm down $4,000. I can suck 200 dicks and work 3,000 part-time job hours. I'm not going to be able to pay this fucking guy. This is why I like DraftKings. They know what you got. You put your ATM card down, you got $100. They don't take over $100. So it lets you bet at what you afford, like what you can afford. You know, listen, guys, I could fucking bet those games for $2,000, it'd be a big shot. Oh, guys, it's entertainment. I don't want to get in trouble. And I know this going in. So what do? Today they have a thing. Saturday they had a great fucking deal. They had like Oklahoma to win, Ohio State, and Alabama to win by 42 fucking points. Now, what are the chances of all these three teams winning? You put $10 on that, you win $180. That's not bad. So if you enter two of those fucking pools, maybe put 15 on the team of your if you could pull out $200 on a fucking weekend, that's why I like DraftKings, because they have a ton of prop bets. Listen, Oshani, the fucking Japanese pitcher, is the best player in baseball, but he plays for the fucking Angels. They're the Clippers of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers and the Angels are the exact same thing. They're gonna have 200 great people, and they're never gonna win Ugats, right? So when you bet the Angels, I don't bet the fucking Angels when Oshani's pitching. They're probably going to get sheltered. But you know that motherfucking Japanese dude's going to hit a home run or 3 singles. So I usually bet, $10 for Oshani to hit over half a point single. If you bet that 10 times, you're not going to lose. Oshani always hits the fucking... He just hit 30 fucking home runs. He's the first Japanese player to have 30 home runs and win 10 fucking games pitching. Who do you think you're dealing with, Joey Bananas? I don't follow too many people, but I like Shoshone Ohtani. Anyway, my point is, it's DraftKings season. Give them a fucking shot. I don't know who you've been with. I don't know what you've been doing, but I tell you what, I have a great time on there. I haven't refilled my account in maybe... I refilled it for the NCAA for March Madness. I haven't put money in there since March Madness. I play with the same $20, $5. Some nights I'm bored, I play 5 hands of casino. Whatever, blackjack, fucking $1. And that's it, I go to fucking bed. I understand, like, people got addicted to different fucking things. But with DraftKings, any of those other sites that are all very fucking good and trustworthy, I can't see myself getting in trouble. So if I talk about DraftKings, Thursday night fucking football, the Buffalo goddamn Bills at the fucking LA Rams. Oh, shit. I love the Bills this year. I don't know if they're going to fucking win the championship, but they're going to win some games. Stay on top of them. Watch Indianapolis. I love a fucking lot of... I'm way better with football than I am with anything else, and I'll still just bet 25 fucking bucks. Just to fucking go over to Jimmy's and yell and scream. They're in Miami Dolphin house, so I'll go over there. And I'll always bet 25 bucks on the Dolphins just because I'm sitting there. I'm eating their fucking food. I can't go over there and bet against the Dolphins. They're a motherfucking Dolphin house. Where's your respect, cocksucker? Liquid IV, the fucking cherry. Oh, my goodness. What flavor is this? This is fucking delicious. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I can't see without my beautiful glasses. Oh, shit. This is golden cherry. Tremendous, guys. Just fucking tremendous. 16 ounces, but boom, it's a whole different operation. talking about fucking Nick Saban, talking about football. I thought I killed somebody Thursday night. I thought I fucking stabbed somebody 10 times Thursday night. I had text messages. My phone was ringing. I was outside talking to the neighbors. And I come in. It's like 9:30 at night. And people are like, dog, Nick Saban was talking about you. Did you see this shit right on ESPN or something? There was a game. So I'm like, Nick Saban? I'm like, what the fuck? I go, Nick Saban, Alabama? And they're like, yeah, hurry up, go on YouTube. People posted it to your page. You didn't see it, Mike? So like, I don't fucking know Nick Saban. He don't fucking shout me out unless he came to a comedy show. That dude's a Christian. He fucking hates guys like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of his. I love fucking Nick Saban, Saban, whatever the fuck you want to call him. So I go online, and right away he's talking a speech about shit, what's going to happen. And he goes, don't tell me about what happened last year. Tell me about what's going to go on today, the church of what's happening now, and all this shit. And people are fucking... Like, I must have got 20 retweets of the video. You know, people were sending...
He might not have known what he was saying.
No, he didn't fucking know. If he fucking had people hitting him up today, put your apologies. That church of what's happening now, they're no good. They did drugs. They killed the whole Benjamin. They fucking, they fucked up people. Get the fuck your name off there. He didn't know, guys. I mean, it's.
I thought he mentioned you by name.
Yeah, no, I never met that man. I'm a fan of his. I would go to one of his games. I love Alabama, but that's not it. But it's funny that the text that he used is the context that listen. Let's get to the basic of this fucking church of what's happening now. First time I heard the church of what's happening now, I was Mercy's age. I was fucking Mercy's age. It was called the church. It was a sketch that Flip Wilson did on his show every week. It was called The Church of What's Happening Now. I don't remember what it was about. I love to lie to you and tell you I knew. When I did The Church of What's Happening Now, people reached out to me and they said, Flip Wilson might sue you for taking that name or whatever. And I'm like, listen, it was 30 years ago. It was the name of a sketch. And that's all, it was just the name of a sketch, The Church of What's Happening Now. So when you're like fucking 8 or 9, you're like, Church of What's Happening Now. I don't know what the fuck that means. That word didn't come back into my life till I was about 24, 25 years old. And it's so weird that I had spoken to Erica Florentine last week. And I go, Erica, I have another idea for a book. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I go, listen, Erica, I'm sitting here now remember I was talking about being like vengeful, regrets and shit like that. And I'm like, when we wrote that book, we had a great fucking, outline. We had a great outline. We did it, and then we had an outside agent do it for us on everything that he had listened to over the years, and we met in the middle. And it was great. I think we did a great job. We were very thorough. We took our time. There was no fucking fluff in there. We gave you some extra stories that you had never heard on a podcast and stuff. But ever since I locked the book up in February and I submitted it, you just think of shit. When I go to an audition, I always, in the car, as soon as you get in the car, you're like, fuck, I should have done that. Fuck, I should have done this. You ever go to a slice of pizza and you go and you eat 2 slices and on the way out, you're like, fuck, I should have had the stuffed peppers with the prosciutto or whatever. It happens. You always think of something on the way out after you've done it already. So after we did the book, the last couple of months, I'm like, fuck, I forgot to mention that in the book, or I shouldn't have spoken too much about this in the book, or whatever. It's not regrets, it's just things you wish you would have put in there. So I'm thinking about, the other day I'm thinking about somebody I had put in the book, like a friend of mine. In fact, it was because it was my my sister-in-law's 2-year anniversary of passing, which was Friday, God rest her soul. And I was thinking about how much her and my friend Darren Rago did for me in 1990. I was just sitting there one night, I was watching TV, and sometimes you're watching TV and you just fucking drift off thinking about something stupid or whatever. So I was just thinking about how much, if people knew how much these 2 people had helped me in 93. Like, nobody would even fucking know. Like, between Darren and Sherry Runny. Sherry Runny was basically financing my comedy career with 20s and 30s, and do you have money on you? Show me the money. Show me your money. And now, come on, Sherry. Put $20 in you so you're not out there without money. And then I had a friend, Darren, who, guys, this guy was a fucking savage with 3 hands. And he would call me and go, what are we doing tonight? What club am I taking you to? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And yes, we were both addicts. And he knew I would always be half or whatever we bought with Coke. But no, these guys had my fucking back, and they would push and push and push. So I called Sherry, Erica Florentine the next day, and I go, Erica, I really think I want to, I'm not saying nothing bad. I go, I just feel that I didn't talk about, because there was so much material, I didn't talk about certain people like I wanted to. Like there were a lot of people I just wanted to describe in the book as angels. Like, you know, Darren Rago and Sherry Runny are both passed. God rest both their souls. You know, Darren lasted till 1999, which probably put him at, you know, fucking, what was I, 30-something when he passed away. And Sherry Runny passed away 2 years ago, you know. But it's just so, they were angels in my life that came and went in the fucking night. You know, Anthony Balzano was a fucking angel that came into my life when I first moved to Jersey, and he showed me around, and he made sure people didn't fuck with me. Then he brought me into his house and introduced me to his family, and he fucking went out in the night, and I fucking slipped into his spot. Dominic Speciale, same thing. You know, and they didn't all die. All these people didn't die. They came into my life in a certain point in my life to make that point in my life a lot more bearable, as I could say, you know. And I think about them all the time, and I think they deserve a lot of credit. And nobody will never even know their fucking names, you know. So when I saw that, you know, Nick Saban had said that, and I started thinking about fucking the book, you know, when he said Church of What's Happening Now, it's so weird. One of the biggest highlights of my life, I feel, one of the best things I ever did in my life, and it was, sometimes you do good things without even knowing. Sometimes you make good choices without even fucking knowing you made them. You'll see later on down the road, you're like, that was a good fucking choice I made. I made a lot of bad choices, right? I did a lot of fucked up things. But I was detailing cars. I was making $800 fucking dollars a month. I was working, you know, 60 hours a fucking week, and I got promoted to a detail. I started off as a shagger, and I got promoted to a detail. And then when I was making detail money, I was making great money, but I was busting my fucking hump for this money. I was coming home smelling like fucking chemicals and breathing in chemicals, and and every time I drop off a car to this Bill Crouch Subaru, the fucking manager would always say, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're a street guy. You know how to talk to people. You got the gift of gab. You're in a fucking car, steaming engines. Get your life together, stupid. Come on over and, you know, sell some cars. And I was like, for years, people have been bugging me to fucking sell cars. I don't want to fucking sell cars. Come on. Every 2 days, I have to go in and drop off a car. Joey, please, go get a shirt and a tie. And there was just no fucking way. Finally, I was like, I want to do more things in my life. Yeah, I'm making $1,000 a week. I'm 24 years old. I'm bringing home about $750. But this ain't getting me dick. This is my rent. This is my fucking school books, some shoes, and I can't fit cocaine into this budget. I got to make more money if I want to snort coke. If you want to play the game, you know. And I was looking not to be a fucking thief. I was looking just to be a decent person. So I asked him one day, I go, how much can I make in here? And he's like, you can make anywhere from $3,000 to fucking $10,000 a month. You know, you could write your own ticket. And I said, all right. On one Monday, I fucking took the gig, and I told him I would come in on a Saturday and give it a shot on a Saturday because I didn't want to get fired from my detailing job. I mean, I couldn't do anything else. I was going to, in Boulder, they have 1,000 jobs that'll get you through. But they have like 4 of them that you could actually get ahead with. You know what I'm saying? Like there's college jobs and shit like that. This was a job you'd get ahead with. You know, if I was making $1,000, that's $52,000 a year. In 1987, that's a lot of fucking loot for fucking washing cars. But this guy's telling me I can make more fucking cash. So I'm like, dog, I don't believe you, Peter Pinto. You know, I don't fucking believe you. And he went, that was the guy's name, Peter Pinto. He went and he got everybody else that worked there. And one guy's name was Jim Wheeler. My heart ended up fucking being one of the most influential people in my life. And this other guy called Wayne Means. But the whole three of them clicked together. Peter Pinto was a little weird. Jim Wheeler was my type of salesman, very honest and very direct. But for some reason, Wayne Means used to motivate the fuck out of me. This guy was just, and the owner of that Bill Crouch Subaru at the time, yes, Bill Crouch's name was on the thing, but the money from that thing was this fucking dude, the whitest dude ever. But cool as fuck. He was something to do with the government. He was in the service and all this shit. Tough dude. And he used to call me the fucking renegade. The renegade. Joey, you're a fucking renegade. So, you know, the first Saturday I went in there, I sold 3 fucking cars. And I called the detail and I go, shove your fucking water hose up your ass. Mm-hmm. Papa's cleaned his last goddamn car. And I went to Bill Crouch Subaru. I had to borrow my friend's mom's credit card and to buy 3 fucking jackets with white shirts and, you know. And I got a job over there, not knowing what I was doing. And, yeah, Jim Wheeler was training me in the art of sales, like, you know, the steps, taking them, sell on your feet, close on your ass, all these little fucking sayings. But there was one dude, Wayne Means, that every morning he would fucking drill me to death. And he was laughing like he was a funny dude. First off, he was a biker, not one of these dudes that you see with 6 fat fucks on a Saturday on the turnpike, you know, no. This guy was a straight up gangster biker, okay? This motherfucker let his hair long, tattoos before tattoos were cool, you know, the whole fucking deal. So to make a living, and for his wife, he was married, and he would come home for 6 months of the year. This guy was cool as shit. He had a deal with his wife. He had stepkids, so he married her later after she got divorced. He kind of raised the kids, but not really. And he had a sister and a boy. Dave is in Florida doing 30 to life right now. I'm surprised they didn't put him under the chair, right? His son, Dave. Anyway, Wayne was just a fucking one of those dudes. I was 25. I was wild, and he knew how to reel me in, but he also knew how to motivate me. So when I would come in the morning, he'd come over to the car. How you doing today, Joey? All right, what's going on with you, brother? You're looking good. Hey, let me do yourself a favor. Shine that fucking shoe. That's the first people look at when they walk in is your fucking shoes. So what good is it to have the nice suit on, ironed, if your shoes are not going to be fucking shine? Come on, shine your fucking shoes. How are you going to buy a $10,000 car from somebody with a $10 presentation? This guy was just money, and he didn't talk to me like white privilege. He spoke to me like a fucking street guy. You know, all those things I yelled over the years on Periscope and shit. I was just emulating him. That's all I was doing. You know, like when people came up to him and said, but Wayne, I sold 3 cars yesterday. Yeah, but that was yesterday. We're talking about today, the church, of what's happening now. What's going on today? Who do you have a car to sell to? So he taught me how to fucking narrow it down to today. He was sharp. And there was times I'd bring him customers. This guy would give them a tremendous ear beating. He knew how to give you an ear beating for you to buy a car. You know, like when somebody's giving you an ear beating and they're like, you know what? Just give me the paperwork because I can't take this ear beating no more. I'll sign the paperwork before I take another minute of this fucking ear beating. I'll never forget, I was selling a car one day. And on a car, like in today's market, you know, you have an MSRP. Okay, it was a new car. It was right in the showroom. It was a Subaru. I'll never forget this. The people come over, and I go, yeah, because in meetings, Wayne Means knew how to make money on a car deal. Some people know how to sell a car. Wayne Means knew how to set you up to make money. So most people start with an MSRP. This is 1987. Wayne Means is still starting with a fucking addendum. For people who don't know what an addendum is, MSRP is the sticker Ford or Subaru or Cadillac or Mitsubishi or Toyota puts on the window with what's on the car, what packages they have, and what's the estimated dealer price. But then next to it, there's always an addendum. And that addendum costs the dealer 15 fucking cents. It's a piece of paper with a piece of ink on it. It says, white wall tires, undercar. It just has a bunch of shit. Rust protection, window protection, all this shit. And they plop on another $2,500. And it's just air. But in Wayne Mean's mind, he goes, I want you to start from that price because if they have a trade-in, I can give them more money off the trade-in from that addendum. That's $2,500 worth of air. But to anybody who knows, anybody who's a gangster and does research before they go buy a car, you'll look at the fucking addendum and go, fuck that. I'm not even talking to you about that. We're starting here. So, it's winner take. So I'm in the showroom with this guy. He's a Boulder guy. He's fucking a genius. And this guy is like, I'm not even starting there. So don't even talk about that. I go, the car starts there because that's how you get gross. Gross is the amount of profit you're going to make to that car deal. So I'm starting from fucking gross. I'm like, no, you got to pay up then. The guy's like, I'm not going to pay that. I start here. Wayne Means pops out from the desk. It was a little higher desk. He could hear everything. And he goes, sir, have you ever heard of the Addendum Act of 1969? Listen, there was never an Addendum Act of 1969. Nobody even had an act in 1969. But Wayne Means proceeded to tell him about the Addendum Act of 1979 or 69 and the senators that were behind it. Do you know the guy bought the car at fucking addendum? There was no fucking addendum. There was no fucking act of 1969. It was the ear beating he gave them about the addendum that the people said, all right, fuck it, we'll just pay for it. I think I ended up making like $3,200 on that car, on one fucking car. Usually you make like $1,000, $800, $400. I made $3,200 profit. It was like a Subaru, the GL10. A lot of people don't remember the GL10. For some old Subaru people, that's the fucking Subaru that you press a button and the tires are raised. So if you're driving and there's more, like you're coming off a highway and you're turning into the hills, but the mountain hasn't been shoveled. It's been like plowed, but not really shoveled. There's still like 2 or 3 feet. You would press a button and you stop the car and the car would rise, not like those Mexican fucking things that bounce up and down. I'm talking about the car would just rise up, the whole suspension, and you would fucking drive through. Wayne Means was great because his gang of motorcycle people, I think, sold speed. He didn't do drugs like they did crank in those days. They moved crank across the fucking country. I can't say what gang he was in because he'd kill me. I don't even know if he's alive. We probably spoke 8 years ago. He was running a car dealership in Las Vegas, and we spoke on the phone, and we were going to try to meet him, come to a show, and he was very proud of me. He said he saw me in some movies and shit. But Wayne did not do powder, and he did not do any of that shit. And Wayne didn't care if you did it. He just wanted you to be such a good salesman that he didn't want you to do it in the daytime. Like he'd tell me, if you want to go smoke pot, that's your decision. I can't stop you, but Joey, you'd be a lot better and a lot more focused if you didn't do that shit. I never fucking listened to him. I would go out there and get high and come back, and I could tell he would be upset. So eventually I stopped doing all that shit. But after about 2 months of working there with him, he would always go on a tangent about coke. He was just one of those guys that if you even said, I'm getting the fuck out of here, I'm getting an 8 ball of coke, fuck you, it's gonna make your mind mush and all this shit. He would just say all this shit to you. So he hated vinegar. He fucking hated the smell of vinegar, right? So I would fucking get a bottle of white vinegar, and I would get those little fucking cups that people put water in at the water station, and I would put vinegar, in the corners of his office. One on one corner, I'd and one in the other corner, and I'd wait for him to come in, and I'd be sitting in his office. I'd see him pull up, and I'd sit in his office, and like with a fake fucking question, and he would come in, hang his jacket up. Joey, I'm not here 10 minutes. What is it? And I go, nothing, man. I got to ask you a question about the delivery on this car. I would just bullshit. And he would go like this while I was talking to him. What? And he would go. He goes, you smell vinegar? I smell vinegar. I can't be here if there's vinegar. And he would go all around, I smell vinegar, I smell vinegar. And this went on. So me and one of the other salesmen were in on it. So I knew he would go from one office to the coffee office. I would hide vinegar right by the coffee machine. So I put coffee, because he would go right in there and make a coffee. The vinegar was on the side. He went in there and he's like, I can't even make coffee. I did this to him once a fucking week with the vinegar, and he'd have to leave. After about 2 months, he figured out somebody was fucking with him, right? So that was one thing I did to him. The other thing I did with him, I get a fishing line with a fishing hook, and I'd get a white piece of paper, and I'd make a bindle, a cocaine bindle, and I'd put the fishing hook, tiny little fishing hook at the end of the bindle, and I would throw the fishing, I would throw the...
You can see that on the ground.
I would throw and he'd be sitting at his desk. It was a tower, you know. So the new car manager sits here, the used car manager sits like 3 feet under him, and he could see the floor. I would make the bindle big, you know, and it was like fucking I Dream of Genie. Listen, I Dream of Genie is a show about it's not about a genie, and it's not about the astronaut. It's about the torture they inflict on Major Healy, whatever his fucking name is. The professor. It's the torture they inflict on him. I've always loved that about a show, and I've always loved that about life. So I would put the fishing hook with the half gram of coke with nothing in the thing. It was just a bindle. And I would lay it out where he would see it. And he would fucking get up off his chair and walk down, and I would have the fishing line. I'd pull it away, right? And he would come. He'd be looking for the bindle. I knew I saw it. I knew I fucking saw it. Somebody's playing with me. So I would do that to him and then actually get bindles and put like talcum powder in it and just throw it on the floor. And he would pick them up and open them and go, can I have your attention, please? Somebody's snorting coke here. And he would give you a 20-minute lecture on the evils of cocaine and what's going to happen to you if you snort coke and all this shit. But this was him. But I learned a lot from him. Like this was after Carmine Balzano. This was after a lot of things in my life. And I navigated towards him every day. In those months when I was having 16, 14, 12 car months, you know, it was because I was listening to him to a T. It's everything else he did while being a salesman. And the one thing I took from him is if you're going to be a salesman, you got to look fucking sharp. Your shoes have to be shine. Your socks got to match. You can't fucking stink. You know, you have to have a nice tie. You know, he taught me that you have to speak to women when they come talk to you. Like when a couple comes talk to you, you have to talk to a woman because a woman makes 80% of the buying decision in a fucking family. This guy was he was just my angel. That's why I want to put him in the book. And it don't fucking stop there. Because remember, I stayed at Bill Crouch Subaru for about fucking 6 months, and then I got into an argument with them, and somebody pissed on my leg, and I thought that I could make money somewhere else. So I left and went to Chrysler. And I was at Chrysler for about 6 months, and I would always stay in touch with him. He was like a father figure. And then one day I just called him, and I said, listen, I got to start making some real dough again. I'm not making money in Chrysler. And I went back there, and maybe 7 weeks later, 8 weeks later, I got arrested for the kidnapping. And nobody was more heartbroken about that kidnapping than that dude. But let me tell you what transpired with that fucking kidnapping. You know, I did the kidnapping on a fucking Tuesday. I had the day off from work. And they caught the guy Tuesday night with him in the trunk of the car. And they said they came looking for me. Now, they couldn't really find me. My license had my in-laws' address on it, and, you know, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? They just wanted to get a definite search on me. So that morning when they woke up, they did some snooping, and they found out I worked at Bill Crouch Subaru, so they went to Bill Crouch Subaru. that morning I was fucking coming down off that battery acid like a motherfucking cat tranquilizer, whatever the fuck I was doing that night. And Blazing Brent Hazen, the detailer there, came and fucking banged on my glass. He's like, hey, the cops are at the dealership. They're looking for you. They're about to come over here. You know, so I got ready and shit like that. And I go, how much time do I have? And he goes, well, they were still set when I left. And Wayne Means would not give him your address. And I'm like, what? And he's like, Wayne Means is fucking telling him he lived in Longmont and all this shit just to give you more time. And I was like, fuck. Wayne did that for me? And I'm like, gee. And I did what I had to do that morning, but at some point, you know, there were no cell phones then, so I had to call Wayne at the Subaru dealership and go, you know, thank you for what you did. And he goes, listen, we can't talk long. I mean, he was slicker than fuck. He goes, hey, we can't talk long in case they have the phone tapped. I don't think they have it tapped, but he goes, you never know. He goes, call me at my wife's number. You know the number over there, and I'll help you as much as I fucking can. And at the time, like I said, this guy didn't do drugs. This guy didn't drink. You know, he was a biker, and he did what he did as a biker. You know, they take care of business. They beat people up, and they transport. I don't know what he was doing, but I'm going to tell you something else. That years later, I saw him. I didn't go back to work for him, but I would stop there from day to day, and he always felt very guilty because he had hired Vela back at that dealership. So he always thought that I was going to come back to work and be great. But if Vela wasn't there, I wouldn't have gotten. And he said it. He goes, it really wasn't me who hired Kent Vela back. He goes, I kept my nose out of it. I didn't care one way or the other. He goes, it was the used car manager and the F&I guy that wanted him back on the fucking lot because they thought he could sell. But he goes, I knew he came back with a lot of fucking problems. And look what happened. He ended up taking you down. I was like, he didn't take me down. I don't ever want you to think that I was a victim in this thing. I took him down, you know. But after that morning when the cops were looking for me, he wouldn't give him my fucking address at all. And then they called the dealership where I worked at before, the Chrysler dealership, and that's who gave him my fucking address. But Wayne Means was a fucking soldier to the end. You understand me?
Church soldier.
Yeah, he was a church fucking soldier. And that's what he used to say all the time. He used to go, hey, brother, come on. What are we doing today? The Church of What's Happening. That's what the Church of What's Happening Now came from. I know we ended up talking about other older stories and shit because we thought we were going to be a news outlet at first. Like, I don't fucking know anything about the news. But it was more the, the Church of What's Happening Now. What's going on? You know, it was a church, and it's a state of fucking mind. You know, and I still live off that fucking state of mind. It's fucking today. I don't, people call me for fucking audition. Like when I was on North Carolina and people call me for the audition and they're like, you got to put it on tape Monday. Okay, it's fucking Wednesday. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? The Church of What's Happening Now is the Church of What's Happening Now. But I think about Wayne Means, and that guy's I'm definitely going to put him in that book of angels because after I saw the fucking thing and I, saw the Saban fucking thing, I put his name in the list because I'm only going to have 10 people, and it's so weird how many notes I had made about him. It was like, you ever have a boss that really isn't your boss?
Yeah.
Like, he's your boss, but he's your boss, but he talks to you more. Like he'll have you either way or whatever. Like this guy knew I was a good salesman. He knew I was dependable. He knew I could count on me. I was honest. He knew about some of the shit I was doing. He never held it against me. When I got in trouble for the kidnapping, I'm sure I let him down. But I'm sure at the same time, he knew I was young and stuff. If I was 24, 25 when I was hanging around Wayne had to be around 50, 55. Good-looking white dude, blue eyes. He always wore like off-color sunglasses, and his hair was greased back, slick, like fucking the coach of the Lakers with the white streaks on him and shit. He was tough. He was warm. He would talk to you like when I said to you before about the addendum. Some people would listen to that as a fucking lie. Like, well, the guy lied to somebody, Joy, to sell him a car. No, he didn't. That dude was too stupid to check out the fucking what the guy was talking about. You know, I'm sure that Google it. You know, at that time there was no Google, but guy was an astronaut. You know, he should have known better. But what I'm saying is he was very honest with people. And one thing I liked about him was if he couldn't close you, he'd go, let me ask you a question. What do you think is fair for me to sell you this car? First off, is it okay for me to make a profit? Like, I liked it. You know, this people's approach to salesmanship, that's not really salesmanship. It's trickery. He trained me not to be a trickster. He trained me to be a salesman and to sell them the car knowing that they're going to come back or refer somebody to me. So that's what I liked about him. So, like, if you came in and you were all confused, he'd call a timeout. He'd even put it up. He'd go, timeout. Let's start this again. What do you want? And the person would say it, and then he would go, okay, this is what I could do. Let me ask you a question. Is it okay for me to make a profit? And the people go, yes, of course. I mean, we're here. We do advertising. I got to pay the salesman. I got to pay the mechanic. I got to pay the guy that washes your car. So is it okay if we fucking make a profit? And the people go, yeah. And then he would go, okay, let's do this. And he would go get the fucking invoice. He would go rip the invoice out of the book and put it down and go, what is a fair profit for me to make? That's pretty great. And the people go, 800. And he'd go, give me 1,000 and we'll do the deal right now. This is what it's going to look on monthly payments. This is your down payment. And then he would talk to people. He would go, and I want you to think about this. You got 2 kids. You're buying this car. You're putting $5,000 down. This is the guy that taught me all this shit. I used to just copy him and close people because that's the close I liked. I don't want you to feel like I'm robbing you. So he would go, you're giving me $5,000. And this is 1987, guys. And this is before the great crash of 87. He would go, listen, how much you give me? $5,000. Scrap that. If you give me $2,500, if you give me $5,000 down payment, you're financing for 48 months. This is before 60-month financing. He goes, you're negotiating for 48 months, and your payment will be, $310. Can you afford that? And people are like, yeah, that's great. Okay, let's do one better. How about you give me $2,500 down? You take that other $2,500 and put it in your son's fucking college fund. And you take that other fucking $2,500 down, put that down, and why don't we lease the car? And your payment will be $198 instead of $310 a month. I'll save you $110 a month. And the people would fucking go, what are you talking about? I don't want to lease a car. And he would go, well, when you own that car, when you finance it, you don't own it. So for 48 months, you're not going to own that car. The title, the bank has the title. You're going to pay $198 a month. You're not going to have the title. And at the end of 3 years, you can just bring this fucking car back, and I'll give you a brand new one for $208 a month with nothing down. Because with Subaru, that's it. The down payment keeps transferring. It's a fucking no-brainer. And some people think it's a great deal. And then he would tell them, listen, you lease what depreciates and you own what appreciates. A car don't appreciate. They tell you, well, Subarus hold their value. There's some cars that hold their value. But, and it made sense to me. And that's where I got my sales pitch from. That's why I always sold like that. And that sales pitch went on me for years, I would tell. That's how I negotiate. Down payment is profit. Down payment is profit. So I used to flip that around, guys. I would try to sell all my tickets out Sunday night before the weekend. I would always try to do that because I always felt like if I had to go to that, the more tickets I sold, by the time till I got to the town, I didn't want to do radio. So I called it like down payment. If I sold all my tickets before I had to get there Wednesday. No. So even if I fucking went to a comedy club and I'd get there on a Wednesday night, because they wanted me to do radio Thursday. Wednesday night I made sure, and I copied this from Joe Rogan, I made sure that I went to the best restaurant in town and left a good tip. And the next morning when you wake up, all your tickets are sold out. Because the staff from that restaurant goes out to all the bars afterward and they tell everybody your fucking business that you were there with 4 people, you got high, plus you gave them a $100 tip on a fucking $80 tab, and the tickets sell out. It was just, and so I always stole that thinking, that down payment equivalates. Anyway, I don't know if anybody else will get it, but yeah, Wayne Means is fucking great. So when I heard that from Nick Saban, it was just like I don't know. It was just great. What's that? Flashback. It was just like a big flashback, guys, and it's great. I really want to do this book about, and it's people who you would least expect. People goes, Rogan going to be in there? Is Paul Mooney going to be in there? Is people that, like when I looked at the comedy people I'm going to put in there, I got to be honest with you, there were a lot of comics that came through my life that helped me out, people you would never dream of, people you've never heard of. The most help I got were not from famous comics. It was from people during my open mic days, during my feature days in Seattle, people who just made little gestures and shit like that. But the only person I am going to put in there for angels is somebody like Mitzi Shaw, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I just wanted to get the church of what's happening out story out to you, because a lot of people didn't fucking know it. Like a lot of people were still hitting me up over the weekend. Where'd you steal it from? I didn't steal it from nobody. That was an old fucking whatever thing. And when I decided we needed a name for the podcast, I had always been using it. For the last, like those last couple of years in LA, when an agent would call me and go, yeah, well, I talked to a producer. He's going to have an audition for you in 3 weeks. Come on, guys. This is the church of what's happening now, today. What do we got going on motherfucking today? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at, guys, on a beautiful fucking Monday. I just want to come on here today and tell you, I haven't been this excited about a fall or a comedy show in a long goddamn time. We got a DJ for September 17th. We got a DJ for all the fucking shows. I'm happy we're in New York City for a change. I got these 2 shows in Jersey this week on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we're shifting everything to fucking New York City for the next 6 months. That I'll keep you guys posted for the tickets for Philadelphia, for Parks Casino the night before the 20. Are you going, Mike, to that one?
I want to. Yeah.
Okay, that one you go to?
Yeah, I got all of these.
Okay, we'll get you clearance, all right.
Yes.
Because I know Mikey got the kids. It's fucking tough. People with kids, it's tough. It's a tough life, man. So I'm sorry Mike can't be at a lot of the gigs, but fuck it. We try to get him to what we can, But besides that, I'm excited about this fall. I got my goals written down. I'm going to try to get a little healthier, try to gain some weight. I don't need to gain no fucking weight. Try to lose some weight, get a little better with jiu-jitsu. I tried to call Rob before the podcast to see how he done over the weekend. I appreciate that a lot of you guys enjoyed that podcast. A lot of you people reached out to Rob. You reached out to Gabby. This was a great podcast. I love having him on here because he reminded me of what, like I had forgotten all that shit that we even did a podcast about it. Did like a segment on it about what it took to be a fucking comic. And once I met him, I'm like, this motherfucker's a sharp dude. We got to get him up here. So that's it and that's that. I love you motherfuckers with all my heart. Do not forget to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's opening day weekend, but fucking you got to be ready now because Thursday night it's Buffalo against the Los Angeles Rams, and we got UFC next week. We got a big fucking weekend. I want you guys to be prepared. But that's it and that's that. I love you cocksuckers with all my heart. Stay black. And here's for a word from my motherfucking sponsor, Jack. All right, I want to thank you guys on a Monday. Thank you for taking my fucking ear beating. But it's Labor Day. I had to kick it off. I couldn't just leave you there hanging all day. The joint is brought to you by CBD Lion. They're back, motherfuckers, and better than ever. From the gummies to the back balls to the gel caps. Listen, you can live like a fucking doctor. They'll help you with pain, anxiety, whatever the fuck you got going through, but don't take it from me. Go to CBD Lion. Read the third-party lab results and how this product works. If you think there's something you want to try, whether it's the hemp, whether it's the electronic cigarettes with the CB, listen, put your name in, Joey, Joint, or Church, and get 20% off your first order. Do me a favor, read up on this. You do need some CBD, and CBD Lion is what you need. The Joint is also brought to you by DraftKings. Oh my fucking God. Thursday night is fucking NFL season is upon us. To celebrate, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving new customers a tremendous deal. Are you ready for this? Right now, new customers, you're going to bet $5 and get 200 big ones and free bets instantly. And there's more. DraftKings wants everybody to experience the thrill of fucking early win. You ready? This is completely insane. But you're the crazy one if you don't get in on it. If you guys lead by 10 points anytime during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. So do me a favor. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code Joey to get 200 free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game this Sunday. That's code Joey, Joey, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. DraftKings, download the app, and now let's go win some motherfucking money. I want to thank DraftKings, I want to thank CBD Lion, and I want to thank you fuckers. Have a great Labor Day, and I'll see you Wednesday morning. Tip top magoo.